Oh, that had degreaser on it, dude. Welcome back to the garage. That really threw me off. I had a whole sick intro. Anyhow, if you're new here, thanks for tuning in. Welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. So today, that was terrible. Let me find another one. Today we're building a sissy bar for this bad boy right here. And I'm building mine out of 1/2 inch round stock. And we're going to start out by getting some measurements off of my mounts. These are the mounts I got. They are gas box. I got these from Lowbrow Customs. So we're going to get those mounted up. And then I have a short piece of rod that I'm going to throw in here and shoot them up and get some measurements. I'll walk you through the whole process. But after we get the measurements, we're going to do some layout on the table. So that way, while we're bending the rod, we can lay it down on the table and make sure it's exactly what we want. And we're going to go from there. So also on this sissy bar, I'm not doing a bend at the top. Mine's going to come straight up, and then I'm going to have it come to a point. It is going to bend back. Actually, here you go, picture. So that's kind of, and it's going to be about 4 feet. Check out that sweet rear fender, right? So that's the plate. I'm not sure how I want to do that yet. Join me as we build a sissy bar. Hopefully you learn, because I'm learning too. Let's learn together. See, we're having fun already. All right, so now I got these 2 dummy pieces cut, and it's just so I could put them in there and get some measurements. One thing I did, and I'll do this on the actual stuff that I'm using for the sissy bar, put a beveled end on that, and that's because it will help slide into the sissy bar mounts a little easier, because it's a pretty tight squeeze. So that'll just help you get it all fit up. So right now, that's not fitting because it's like the inside diameter of the mount is the same as the outside diameter of this, possibly. I'm going to grind all the mill scale off of this. I'm going to use a wire wheel. So hopefully it will fit once I get that done. If not, I'm going to actually take a flap disc to this and try to thin it out. But the risk of doing that is that you could thin out one side more than the other. And I don't know. That might throw your sissy bar off a little bit. Maybe not. We'll see what happens. I got these fit up, and they're pretty square as far as being back and forth. That's why I left the mounts at the bottom loose, so I could tweak them after I got everything fit up. Where did my tape measure go? Here it is. So when I'm measuring round stock, I'm about to measure the center of these 2 rods. So when I'm measuring round stock, I'll actually cheat it and hold that 1 inch mark on the center of your round stock. I'm a pipe fitter for a living, so I do this when I measure pipe, and it helps you get like a more accurate measurement. So the thing about that, you got to remember to, because you're burning an inch on the dummy end. That's this end if you didn't know. You're burning an inch. So that's showing me right now 12 3/8. So you got to subtract an inch from that, because it's like you're moving the tape measure back an inch. So 11 3/8. Write that down real quick. Also, make sure your fender is still good while you're doing all these measurements, because this is where it really counts. So I have threaded bungs that I'm going to be using for this, and this is going to determine how far out your mounts come off the fender. Is going to determine your offset in towards the fender, so your bend's coming back in towards the fender before you come up. And I'm going to actually fabricate the mounts that come off of the Sissy bar. So what that's going to look like is that threaded bung is going to be welded right to the side of the fender. So this bung is going to be welded to the side there, and then I'm going to make some kind of mount out of 1/4 inch. Weld it to the front side of this, and it's going to come out, and then there's going to be a screw that's going to bolt up like that. So this is how you figure out your offsets. You got to take these measurements into account while you're doing this. So I had this. It was going to be a fender mount that I made, and I actually had a hole drilled in it already. So I just bolted this bung to that, and I have this squared up with the 1/2 inch stock, and I'm going to measure the gap between the fender and the end of this bung, and that's going to be our center to center offset. All right, it's 1.5 inches, and I'm going to do the same thing with the other side, and hopefully it's the same, because that means my fender is where it needs to be. If not, I have some readjusting to do. I'm just kind of looking down and lining the center of my 1/4 inch plate up with the kind of the center of the rod to make sure it's pretty good. Please be 1.5 inches. Yep. It's like within a 1/16. Close enough for the girls we go with, right? Okay, now we have our measurements. We can figure some things out. Another thing that I did was set this at the angle I think I'm kind of looking for, and I'm going to measure each side to see what I need to clear, to see how high up our bend needs to start. Yeah, I think we're going to go 7. So 7's clearing everything that I need to clear. We're going to go 7 inches. So our starting point, we're going to come up 7 inches, and then that's where our offset's going to start. So we got our measurements now, and what we need to do this: tape measure, some soapstone if you're writing on steel, or if you're drawing this out on maybe a wood workbench, you know what it is. Use something, get something to mark with, and a straight edge. This is going to be 4 foot long, so straight edge, I mean, this isn't really going to do it. It's 12 inches, but that has a 45-degree angle on it, so we're going to roll with that. So I'm going to start off by I'm just going to line the edge of this plate steel up with the edge of my table, because it's a factory cut. It's going to be square, and then we're going to make a line there. So if you have a seat and you're trying to make your Sissy bar come up to the back of your seat, which I'm going to kind of do, I showed you guys my seat in one of the last videos. I'm going to pull a measurement on my seat really super fast. All right, so we have our measurements. I just went and measured the back of my seat, which is 6.5 inches. If you want yours to come up the back of your seat, and if you're doing a king queen seat, yours is going to be a little different than what I'm doing. So mine's just going to offset in, and it's going to pretty much come straight up. It's not going to come up like a king queen seat would. I guess some of them have like a pretty square back, but just adjust to whatever your seat. And if you have a solo seat, I guess you can do whatever the hell you want to. So good for you. It's easier for you. It's not that bad. It's math. Math is math. Get off your ass. Let's do some math. You guys ever watched School of Rock? Shout out to Jack Black for me in my teenage years. Amazing. In my adult years, he's still pretty rad, dude. Tell you what I'm going to do. So the side that's closest to me is like a rough cut, so it's not square. I'm going to start down here and then use that to square across. That's the center on one side. Check that out. This is the part, Jimmy, if you're watching, go ahead and just speed this up, and I don't really need to talk through it. I'll get these lines drawn up, Jimmy, and then we'll stop it, and then I'll talk about what we're doing here. All right, Jimmy. So the center on bottom was that 11 3/8 measurement. So I'm going to set that 11 3/8 mark. Make sure. Make a mark on the edge here. And we will come up here, make a couple more marks, 11 3/8. Here's our base, that 11 3/8. You know what I'm going to do? Because of the OCD, I'll run up here, check this measurement. Money, buddy. All right, so we're good there. So we also said we're going to come up 7 inches from where the bottom of our round stock is going to sit in the mount. So we're going to come up 7 inches from there, and I'm going to make a mark on each side, and that's going to be the center of the offset. So now I'm going to come in 1.5 inches on each side, and then draw 2 more lines up, and we can get rid of some of the first lines that we drew. Come up here, like 1.5 inches. So when you start this line, you want to make sure where you made your cross down here, which was that 7 inches up, you want to extend this line past where that mark is, and it'll make sense why in a minute. So I'm going to come as far up as I can. That will be like the top. Remember, this sucker is going to be 4 foot big, 4 foot tall. Oh, something's not right. I think I did. I used my measuring stick wrong. Yep, I sure did. All right, redo. Erase that. Also, cool thing about soapstone, you can erase it. Look at that. It's gone. Poof. See? We all make mistakes. Part of the learning process. Take 2. Jimmy, edit that out. If you made it this far without falling asleep. So we could set this on here. So, oh, yeah, that's why I don't like this thing. It's that little brass nut. Oh, and the spring. The brass nut and the spring comes out. You could use that to get your 45, which is fine. But I will teach you how to do it by using math. So this spread between these 2 lines is 1.5 inches. So off of your outside line, go up 1.5 inches, make a mark. You want to transfer that mark that you came up 1.5 inches or up this way. You want to use a square and transfer that mark to your inside line. Both sides. Inside line. Inside line. Now, take your straight edge. I'll get you guys a little closer for this so you can see exactly what I'm saying. So here is the original marks. 7 inches up from the bottom. That's the 1.5 inches in. Then I went on the lines that are on the inside and transferred. So we went 1.5 inches up on the outside and then transferred those lines on that line on the inside. So now you want to take your straight edge and go to the center of those crosshairs and make a mark. Got our mark. Yep. and that gives you a 45-degree angle. There you go. So here's our sissy bar. We're going to come up, come in, and then up again. And then our mounts are going to sit in here somewhere. So that gives us a good starting point to where we can start bending stuff, and then when we bend it, we can just lay it back down over this template. So this is going to go away. Now that will be the shape of the sissy bar.